Hi and welcome to the WOOLapyk Podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting. Today is October 21st. I know that because I'm just looking here. My daughter just turned 7 a few days ago, which is kind of crazy that she is now 7 years old. I always find how some jumps between years feels bigger than others. So 5 to 6 is not like a big jump for me, but 6 to 7 seems like she's now kind of big. 7, then you're almost 8, almost 9. It's the same thing with time, I find. So in the evening, if it's 9:30, I'm like, oh, it's still early. It's early time in the evening. I have plenty of time. And then an hour later when it's 10:30, I'm like, wow, it's late. Yeah, I don't know why I'm even talking about this. But welcome. This is a knitting podcast. And if you're new, I am from Denmark. And I talk about knitting. And yeah, I've been podcasting since I was pregnant with Esther. So that's kind of a long time now, actually. Maybe 8, 9, 10 years. I think I did podcast a few years before I got pregnant with her. So that is crazy, but and I think a few of you actually have watched from way back in the beginning, so that is kind of fun to think about. A lot of things have happened since then, but yeah, I don't have that many things to talk about. It has been a month of not a lot of knitting, but a lot of preparing for the advent calendar that I'm dyeing, and also preparing for the Christmas gift that I'm doing for Christmas. I'm selling advent calendars and Christmas gifts on my website. So I'm doing that, and then we've had, currently we have a fall holiday all this week, and my parents are here, and yeah, there's just a lot of things going on, so I haven't been knitting that much, but I am almost done with one thing. I just need the cuff on a sweater. I am working on my top, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and then I also have another finished object that I finished a while ago, but I haven't showed you the final result. So I think we're going to start with the sweater, because that is the one that I'm working on the most. So this is a test knit for Creadia Studio, and the pattern is out now. I just need, like I said, the cuff. It is called the Delta sweater, and let me show you. This is what it looks like. Oh, I am so excited about the sweater. It is just, I've been trying it on, and I just really like the fit of it. I like the feel. It is a very lovely fabric. So the fabric is knitted with 2 strands of Yngling, you see that, silk mohair. 2 strands of this, and then 1 strand of my hand-dyed yarn. This is a non-superwash merino in a fingering weight, and the colorway is called Ketla. So it's a gray with some, oh, let me see, with some pebbles in there, and it's just incredibly soft, lightweight, and lovely to wear. I was talking a bit about how I was annoyed knitting with this Yngling yarn, but I would totally do it again. I really like the way the silk mohair is on my skin. I wouldn't say I'm sensitive to silk mohair, but I also often find that I need to just have it on my body for a few minutes to sort of warm up the fibers, and then I'm fine. So when I put it on initially, I do find it to be a tiny bit prickly, and then I'm fine. This one that I'm wearing here has also has silk mohair, and I just have a top underneath, and I'm fine with it. So it's not like I'm super sensitive, but I just know that when I put it on, I just need to wait a few minutes, and then I'm fine. And I honestly don't feel that with this silk mohair. It just has been lovely to put on from the get-go. So definitely would knit with it again, even though there is quite a lot of fluff in there while you knit with it. This sweater, by the way, is the Snowy Forest sweater by Hidori Muruse, which is a Japanese designer. It is a pattern from a Lane magazine. I can't remember which number, but it's one of the first ones, maybe the 4th or 5th, something around there. And yeah, I knit this in, again, I think my own yarn in that sort of brown colorway, and then a silk mohair from, oh, I can't remember. Maybe it's my own silk mohair as well. I can't remember, but it's lovely, and I wear this a lot as well. Well, yeah, that was a side note. But if you were wondering, that is the pattern for this sweater. It is kind of, you can see it has a deep armhole, and then it's kind of cropped, as you can see. But you obviously decide yourself how long you want to knit it. It's knitted top down, so you can just continue until you have the right length, or the length that you want. But back to the sweater. So this is the back. So it has a folded over neckline, nice and chunky, and sleeves. You just knit the sleeves, and then you do the ribbing on a smaller needle. There's no increases or anything, which is just kind of relaxing when you knit that. You don't have to worry about doing your increases here. I like that. Then it has, which is my favorite part, and which is why I said yes, because I do like those long split hems. It has a very long, let me see, split hem. So I did knit a few more rounds. It was supposed to be, the pattern wants you to split already like right here, right underneath the sleeves, but I have a longer torso, and I have, especially from like my, well, I guess my neck to where my breasts begin, I have a longer piece of body. I think that was normal. So if I have bras or anything, I always have to, like, you know how you can change the length of your strap, the strap. I always have to have it all the way up, so like all the way to the longest strap possible, basically. And it has been like that since I basically developed breasts. So it's not because I've been breastfeeding or anything like that. It's just I have a longer piece of, I don't know if you saw it, body, it sounds wrong, but I'm just longer here than what is standard. So I also know that if I want the pattern to fit the way that it looks on like a standard model, then I do need to add a little bit of length, either in the body, like the total length of the body. But for a pattern like this, where you have that split hem, I thought it made sense just to add a little bit more length here under the arm before I did the split hem. So long story short, that's why I did that. And then it has that, like I said, the split hem, and the back is a little bit longer than the front. I think it's longer in the pattern, but I just stopped here because that's what looked nice on my body, I find. And then yeah, so you knit top down. I knit the sleeve, one sleeve, and then I knit the back, the front, and now I'm doing the second sleeve here, as you can see. So I'm just started on the ribbing, and this is knit on a size 9mm, so it is a fast knit. I think a lot of the testers did this in a week. I'm just not, I don't know if I'm a slow, I keep saying I'm a slow knitter. I am a slow knitter, but I also don't really have that much knitting time. I find that I don't have that much knitting time. I would like to knit more than I do in a day, so it may be a combination of that, but you could knit this sweater very, very fast. It is also quite lightweight at that, even if you are knitting it on a very chunky gauge, the yarn just is very lightweight. And I have knit, this is the second ball of yarn that I'm using, and I'm almost done. So I think I'm gonna end up just using a skein and a half of this hand-dyed yarn of mine. So if you had 2 skeins of yarn, and I'm knitting a size large, yeah, I'm knitting a size large. So if you have 2 skeins of hand-dyed yarn and you really want to knit a sweater, but you don't really have enough for a sweater with a tighter gauge, this would totally work. Like, you could get a sweater out of 2 skeins of yarn if you then add the silk mohair, of course. And for the silk mohair, I have used 6 skeins of this, so 150 grams. And I do think I have to tap into the 7th skein, because I only have this much left, which is kind of annoying me because I really would have wanted, that would just be nice just to use 6 skeins of that silk mohair. You probably could just use 6 skeins, but then I would just knit obviously the yoke and then both sleeves, and then you could see how much yarn you had left. Because I do think I would have been fine with the front piece of this, of the sweater, to be just maybe 2 centimeters shorter, and if I had done that, then I would have had enough silk mohair for the sleeve. So that was the thing you could do if you just have 6 skeins of a silk mohair and you want to knit the size large. Yeah, so I am, let me just see, here's the front. Just overall, just very excited about this. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it. And yeah, I'm just as happy with it now as I was before I started knitting, which isn't always the case. I think you all can relate to starting a pattern that you're so excited about, and then when you're in the pattern, or maybe when you're done and you try it on, you're like, it wasn't quite as exciting or as perfect, or the fit wasn't as great as you had imagined. And I don't feel that way with this sweater. I'm still very excited about it, and I still really like just the way it looks and the way the fit is. So that is just extra lovely. So you see here is that split hem, and it has like a piece of, so it sort of crosses over the 2 pieces here. Can you see? Like that. Which I kind of like. So yeah, it's gonna be perfect for this fall now. So I just need to finish it off, which I could do today if I have enough time, and then it is done, and I am going to wear it for the next podcast. I think I said that last time too, but you know, it's still only October 21st, so I'm doing this recording a little bit early, so it will be done by the end of October. We are in October now. I have not alternated skeins for this, which if I had knit this just with my own yarn, I would definitely be changing alternating skeins. So when you alternate skeins, you knit 2 rounds maybe with this skein of yarn, and then the other skein that I already have used, I would use 2 rounds of that, just to make sure that you get a nice uniform look, and then you avoid pooling and things like that. But since I knew that I was holding this together with 2 strands of this, I just figured it wouldn't really matter because the silk mohair would, I guess, blur out this color a bit. So, and it has, you can't really see, I mean, I don't think there is any pooling, but it just looks very nice and uniform, the color. So all is good with that. So that is my Delta sweater. I'm just gonna look. Can you see? It just looks so yummy. I wish I could, can I? No. We have a coffee maker, and I just found out that I've always made latte on it, and then Jakob was reading about the differences between latte and cappuccino, because we've been talking about it for years actually, but just haven't really looked into it. And then he said that the cappuccino, when you do cappuccino, you get actual milk foam, which is what I like. And so now we found out that the machine makes lovely milk foam if you do the cappuccino. So now I'm all into getting cappuccinos, and I have a bit of cinnamon on top. Let me show you a finished object here that you have seen before. This is my Tide Loop tee by Other Loops. And I was talking about last time how I found the edging to be just a bit too heavy, I think, for the overall look of the pattern. And this is not the way the original pattern looks. The original pattern has a textured structure of knits and purls, sort of in ridges. and I just did mine in a stockinette stitch, as you can see. And it just, the overall feel and look of the garment when I wore it was that it was just too heavy. It felt heavy and sort of bulky and didn't really do anything good for my body type. And so I figured that I wanted to, maybe in order to make it less bulky looking, I wanted to make it shorter, so more cropped, because you can see it is a very wide garment. And then I didn't like, so the hem, it was like this, so a folded over hem for the bottom as well, and it just looked so heavy. So I decided to just rip it up, rip back a few centimeters, and then just do a regular bind off like this. And then I actually thought that it was going to curl up to roll in on itself, but it hasn't. And maybe it's because I have blocked it and everything before I did it, and that's why. And if I wash it again, it may do it, but for now it just lays quite nice and flat. So, or maybe it's because of the yarn I have used. What did I use? Oh yeah, I used my own hand-dyed yarn in the fairy circle, which you can see is those speckled bits in there. And then I used Isa Trio, which is a plant-based fiber, and maybe the plant-based fiber doesn't want to roll in on itself as much as a animal-based fiber. So that may also have something to do with that. I don't know this, it's just something that I'm thinking, because it has a lot more drape and is just heavier than the animal-based fiber. It is a heavy garment. So yeah, but yeah, as you can see, I have not really woven in the ends, and I haven't really worn it. I have tried it on, but I haven't worn it, so I don't know how much where I'm gonna get out of this, but we will see. I am happy with the changes that I did, so so far so good. I guess I could take that pocket keep out, actually. There. Oh, look. Ladybird or ladybug. So, and the last thing that I have been working on is the mini mock. Let's see if I can pronounce it the right way. Mini mock neck tank, I think. Yeah. Mini mock neck tank by Jessime Designs. And I am stuck on this project because I don't know if I've done something wrong. I have knit the back. So when you knit the pattern, you cast on, as you do with some sweaters, basically. I think a lot of sweaters that has drop shoulders do this. But so you cast on for the back, which I did. I did some shortwave shaping here, which I just find so fascinating and interesting. And then I did some increases and some decreases, and now the pattern says to pick up here and do the front. And that makes me a bit confusing. That makes me a bit confused. But it is confusing to me, because usually when you knit a garment like this is gonna be all there is for the back, and then you join. But if I am going to join now, then the armhole is going to be this deep, and that is going to be including like the curved shape here on my shoulder, so it's going to be more like this, and it just looks way too small. So I have tried to read ahead in the pattern, and I just can't really figure out if that is what's going to happen, or if I am, like, I just don't know. Have you knit this pattern? Does it look right to you? Sorry about that. But yeah, does this look right to you? Is it the right length? Maybe I pick up, and then this is gonna be on the very back of my back. So maybe it starts here And I guess if it starts here and then I knit the front all the way over here and all the way across, that's gonna be okay. But even so, it just looks so tiny, like just incredibly tiny. I don't know. I'm getting a little nervous now when I see it on my body like this. I know this is a very chunky and oversized sweater, but still. Yeah, so if you have knit this, let me know. And I am gonna check my row gauge because that could be off, and that obviously would have something to do with it, but I still just find that it looks wrong. Well, not wrong, but that I definitely should knit more rows here in order to get a armhole that will fit me and that would also fit me comfortably. I don't like anything high up in my armpits. I really don't like that. So that is also my worry, that even if it is right, then it's gonna be like right in my armpits, and I don't like that. And I also find that when I look at the pattern, that isn't the way it looks, because see, I guess it's hard to see because it's black and white, but see, it goes all the way down to here on the model. I don't know. So yeah, it would be a big help if you have knit this, and if you could tell me. I'm knitting the size large, if that looks correct to you. Or maybe it's medium. No, it is a large because I talked about that. This is a plant-based fiber, and it does not have the same stretch or memory as a animal-based fiber, so I just thought that would be the best thing to do. This is knitting for Olive Pure Silk, and I think this is my first time knitting with their silk yarn, and it's fine. It's a little bit splitty, but I think that's kind of normal for a silk yarn. I have actually never really knit with a 100% silk yarn before, so, but that's just what I'm thinking. But because it's such a slippery yarn. And yeah, that is all I've been working on. Jakob is out in the car waiting for me. He just came in. We're gonna go do some shopping right now because we're gonna have a birthday tomorrow for Esther and all the family, so we're gonna go do that now. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.